Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. I'm James and you're watching Blue Dog Aquatics. Alright guys, I know we didn't have a video on Monday and trust me, I'm sorry, I apologize, but it's been crazy. I've been working 14 to 16 hour days just to get the store going. As you can see, it is coming along very, very nicely. The aquarium side is almost done. We do have some airlines still to run, and as you can see right here, we're actually starting to fill tanks, so that's a plus. We can do a whole video on fast cycling if you'd like, so drop a comment down below for that. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're enjoying this channel. So we have some random videos that we're going to pop up here, and I'm going to walk you through a little bit about what's going on with them. So without further ado, here we go. Now, the first video you see is pretty much after completion of installing all the lights. They were quite the chore, but I'll tell you what, if you're ever going to put in lights, all you need is shop lights, and my recommendation is doing ones that plug one into the other, because it saves you on trying to find power strips and all that, and it's just a headache. So, and if you have any questions on lighting or how to do it or what's the best way, let me know. But without further ado, let's jump into the next video. Now, these next pictures and video, I really wanted everybody to see how far the store's come along, and I wanted to show you what it looked like even before anything started moving in. The construction that had to happen was just insane. They had to rip out the carpeting, they had to rip out walls, they had to change electrical, they had to change plumbing, because this was a dentist office before. So yeah, everything. We had a crazy thing happen. They're like, oh, that tank or that water line, we'll run it over for your RO system. And then lo and behold, it wasn't a water line, it was an air line that ran in the middle of my wall and flooded. Oh, it was such a headache. And the plumber's like, I don't know where water's coming from. I'm like, figure it out. But, so that video I just showed you shows you from the very beginning up until right now, where you see all the glass, you see all the aquariums in place. Like I said, we've been working 14 to 16 hour days just to make this happen. So without further ado, let's jump into the next video. All right, that next video is actually over our reptile side. I have to keep looking back because I am filling tanks with water right now, so it's crazy madness. But I can show you right now what it is. So this is what that video, or those pictures in that short video show, is these are actually ball python setups. Now, what we did, as you guys maybe have seen on some of my TikToks, is we actually built these custom racks around these PVC enclosures. We got these from Custom Cages. And then we have this middle enclosure, which is, we're not quite sure for yet. If you see an enclosure and you're like, you know what would look good there? This type of reptile. Well, make sure to drop a comment down below and let me know, because right now, the hardest thing is trying to figure out what to put in all these enclosures. And it's like, okay, you know, what do people want? What are people looking for? And so it's kind of struggling. So, but yeah, that's a 3-tier there. And we actually fused it all together. So it's one big piece. And very important. I know it's kind of hard to see because the light's on, but we actually have cages around our basking lights. And that's so that whatever animal is in here doesn't get burnt. Now, as you can see also, it's not in place, but we have our 5-tier PVC custom cages enclosure too. We finally got it lit up. It was such a hard thing to try and figure out how to get this all set up, but we got it lit up. It still has to get set into place, so we still have that. So make sure to look forward to that. Two more videos and I swear we'll be done. Like I said, if you haven't hit that like button, why haven't you hit it? My reptiles won't like it if you don't hit that like and subscribe button. Because they're like, well, am I not important? Why isn't he paying attention to me? Why aren't they liking me? So make sure to do that. All right. So the second to last video that we're going to talk about today is actually about the airlines. You can see our buddy Scott, little monkey man, up on top of the enclosure, on top of the aquarium rack, not enclosures. But we put him up there because it was actually the easiest way to fish the airlines behind the enclosure, because these aquariums, they're mounted in place. They're actually anchored to the floor. So there is no dragging it out and putting them in and then putting it out. We wanted to give it the nice clean look. So we actually drilled each one. It has its own little air supply. So it's just trippy and insane, but it was so cool. I do want to give a big shout out right now to Scott and to my buddy Joe for all the help that they've been doing and helping out with the shop to make sure that we stay on track for opening January 15th, 2022. Now, we're running into some hurdles, and that's because nobody's open because it's New Year's Eve. But we still have two more permits to go through the Department of Agriculture to ensure that I don't sell anything with fur. Stupid. And then the Humane Society, and they're going to come in and verify that I'm treating all my animals properly and that they're in their proper enclosures. So if you have any ideas for setting up an enclosure for a specific reptile, make sure to shoot us a link, shoot us a picture, drop us a comment so that you might get the chance to have your very own enclosure set up just the way you want it. So, without further ado, let's jump into the very last video for this video. All right, guys. On my last video, you guys saw us running airlines, and it's coming along. And people were asking how we set up our air pumps and our air systems. So, this is an Eco Plus commercial grade air pump. It's super quiet, but that's not the difficult part. The difficult part is actually hooking it up from the fitting it comes with here and converting it over to PVC. So this is actually a 3/8 nipple, and we have a hose clamp on that. Now we have commercial grade hose line because it's going to be under extreme pressure. Now back here, I know it's hard to see, but we have it reversed. This is because the pipe back here is 1 1/4 inches, as you can see. We have a 90-degree 1 1/4 inches, and then we have 1 1/4 inches to 3/4 inside, and then a 3/4 to 3/8. So we had to do a lot of maneuvering to get it like that. And then what happens, oh look, exciting, we're starting to fill tanks. But what happens is, and this big piece of wood's in the way, You bring it up. We actually painted the front of it so it looks better. And then you have your air valves, which honestly, if you use a 13/16 bit, they drill right in. And then to actually put the bit into place is I actually use the head of the screw gun, and that way you're not shredding your fingers. But as you can see, it goes over. Because we have a tank set up in the middle, we had to run air over to it. And I'm just setting this airline directly on top. It is strapped down so it won't move. And then we have the check valves right here that'll go through a hole down to the tank. Now, one of the most important things about running an air system is this. All right, the very last video is on our TikTok, which thank you everybody who's following us on TikTok. We went from, I kid you not, from like 60 followers to I think we're somewhere up in the 300 or something like that. It's insane how quickly it's grown, and you know, they're short little videos, but they're informative. They're keeping people along the way and along the road that we're doing, and I really appreciate everybody's support. So thank you for that. But that last video, we actually had a customer or just a fan that wanted to know how we ran our air system. And so in this video that you just watched, it kind of covers what we have and how we set it up and how we do our airlines. Honestly, the first time you do an airline, take no offense, you're going to screw it up. I did. The one at my fish room at my house is way overkill. Way. And it's kind of shoddy. It's not perfect. You know, the points aren't, or the air spouts aren't where they need to be. They're just all cluttered. But the way I did it here in the store, and make sure to come out and see for yourself, it's just neat, organized, and there's actually some kind of pattern to it. It's like, ooh, yeah, that looks nice. And we painted them to match the walls. So that's a plus. But as you can see, you know, going through that video with the airlines, you can actually see it up here above my head right now. That's actually set up for the shrimp rack. Don't judge me. Don't drop mean comments because they're like, oh, those shrimp aquariums look bad. Well, there's a reason they actually look bad, and that's because those are spare tanks. I wasn't going to bring my very nice with live shrimp tanks to the store to test fit them to make sure that they fit. These tanks are ones that either have bad seals or they're broken, and that way if something happens to them, it's not really a big deal. So yeah, that's why they look like crap, and they're just, yeah, they're whatever. Now all the tanks you see down here, those are all brand new. Same with all the 40s down this row. Those are all brand new. I'll tell you what, Petco, that $1 a gallon sale, it really works. But honestly, if you want the best deal, go online and buy it because it's even cheaper. So, and my wholesaler just wasn't lined up for glass, and glass is so expensive right now. And I'm like, I can get it cheaper through a box store than I can through you. So, and it's local, so I can pick it up today. So yeah, we just did it that way. I'm sure you've also noticed all the pieces of driftwood up there. Yeah, we're actually going to get more from our buddies down in Kansas City. We're going to hopefully do that this week. It's a crazy, crazy busy schedule. We're going to have lots and lots of animals coming in this week, and lots of fish coming in, and shrimp, and all that. And yeah. And before you ask, you're like, oh, well, how are you getting fish in if your tanks are just now filling? Well, joke's on you. The video you're actually seeing is actually backdated, so we're actually further along because we're keeping it a secret as to how far along we actually are. So, and I do that to keep you on your toes. No, in all seriousness, you can fast cycle tanks, and that's if you have a bioactive filter that has been in an established tank for a month or 6 months or a year or whatever. And I actually have a tank just at home that all it does is treats sponges. And so that way I can put an established filter in with a new filter into a tank and have them fast cycled in about a week. So yeah, it's not recommended, but hey, I'm running out of time, and it'll do just fine. We'll treat it, and we're using RO, so we're not even using tap. And stay tuned to our next video. I will actually walk you through the RO system that we put in and the headache that it was in a commercial setting. But guys, yeah. So yeah, if you have any more questions about the airlines or about what we're doing or how we're doing it or the lighting of the tanks or anything, make sure to drop a comment down below. Thanks for watching, guys. Happy New Year. And as always, guys, the big question, your tank or mine?